Don Water here. I'd like to give you a brief tutorial on how to use the Add Frame plugin. If you just open Photoshop, go up to Plugins, Add Frame, Add Frame. You'll be presented with this dialog. And let's start out from scratch and say we're going to create a frame. We could also use a frame file that we've already created, but let's create a new one. Okay, so we create a frame and we have to specify it. Okay, so you want to make the size roughly the size of images that you're going to use, otherwise it will become pixelated when we stretch it around the image. Okay, well, let's put a border of, say, 250. Now, we have to talk about the border of the frame. If we leave generative fill blank, it will just create us a black frame for the border. Okay. If you put a prompt, it will then use generative fill to create the border. So we'll do generative fill this time. And let's say that we'll say wicker, rattan, texture. Now what editable means is that during this process of generative fill, it will stop and let you choose which option to use, and then and you can put a new prompt in and get something different. If you don't make it editable, it's just going to grab the first choice and go on. So let's make it editable. Okay. We're going to create a frame, 5,000 by 4,000 with 250 pixel border. Create frame. It's going through the generative fill now. Takes a bit of time. Okay, now it gives you the message that you want to choose one of these three options. And when you've chosen the one that you want, then click Continue. Now you can see the difference between the frames. And you can enter a new prompt up here and get more selections. But I think for now we'll go with option 3. So we click Continue. And now if you look at it, our frame is built. Okay, it's got the layer effects applied so that we can, it looks a little more three-dimensional. So we're now ready to put an image in it. Now, of course, you could save this file off and you could use it as a starting point next time. But we'll be happy with that. So we'll say step 1, you have the frame active, step 1, and it says this is what you chose. Okay, now we have to choose an image to put in the frame. So we'll go up and I'll just do open recent and let's see what this is. Okay, that's a not too great sunset, but we'll use it. Okay, now it's open and you click on step 2 that you've chosen the image. Now we're ready to process and put it in the frame. Hit process. It's going to ask us the units. We're going to fix the size of the mat now. We're going to ask units. We can either have pixels or percent. Since I have no idea what the pixel values on that image are. I'm going to use percent. So let's put a 15% matte around, well, and put a 20% matte on the bottom. And we're going to choose the matte color. You get a color picker. So let's use the matte, something like that. Now, if you try and proceed, having left that open, it won't let you. You have to close the picker before you can go on. Okay, now we want to enter the title. I don't know what, sunset with pine trees. We can choose the font. We'll go Baskerville bold italic. We can choose the size. Let's go 36. Now we choose the title color. Again, you have to make sure you close the picker after you choose the color. I don't know what color. Let's make the title the color of the sunset, but let's make it a little deeper up here. Click on OK. So now we've chosen everything for our image. So with a little luck, we'll generate a frame with the image in it. So we're going to click on OK. It's going to do all sorts of crazy things while it's transforming the frame. So you just don't worry about that as you're going through it. And it looks like we had a big image, so we're getting it's a little bit too big for the screen, so let's just move it down. But there you have it. The process is complete. And of course you can change you've got all the layers here. Title layer, the frame, the matte, and then, of course, the image by itself. Okay, you can play with those as you like. Okay, but that's the process. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.